everyone, I'm the Modern Sea Witch. And I decided I want to try something different. I've been having some trouble writing as of late, so I thought that maybe I would try keeping my journal this way. Getting those thoughts down in one format or another. If anybody decides they want to watch or listen along, they can. If not, oh well, I'm just doing this to record my thoughts for now. And we'll see if it goes anywhere else after that. I will apologize up front. I'm sure the audio isn't going to be that great. I'm not using my usual setup that I do for my unboxing videos. I'm trying a different setup for this, so otherwise I'd be wearing a big Bose headset right now for better audio. And I may end up resorting to that, so we'll see. So, what have I been doing lately? So I've been traveling. Which has been taking up some of my time. I've also been preparing for my daughter's wedding at the end of the summer. Trying to get through the stack of books that I got from the library. But yeah, let's go back to the traveling for now. Back in June, my husband and I, we went down to Florida to go visit a friend and help him out with some projects around his house. He has a deck that needs to be rebuilt, so we were down there for about 2 weeks giving him a hand with that. And that project is almost finished for him, so I'm glad we were able to help him get the bulk of it finished while we were down there. And while I was down there, when I had some free time, I actually tried to check out a few of the local metaphysical shops down there, and I found one I really, really like. I will end up putting their information on my website as well as on the description here for this video. So that shop is Alchemy and Ashes, and it's so they're labeled more as a witchcraft shop, not just a not necessarily a metaphysical shop. And I was in love with that place. I loved their little rooms, how they had everything set up, each one kind of having its own theme. As well as the different artisans that they worked with to create the items that they were offering in those rooms. There were just so many things there that I wanted to purchase, but I'm like, I don't need a ton of things. I did pick up some Angelica because I was out of that. However, there were so many things I wanted to buy, and their pricing was phenomenal. I did pick up some more incense. I've said it again and again. I love incense, not just for actual workings, but just to scent my home. And I couldn't believe it. I walked out of there with 2 things of incense and the Angelica root. And when the gentleman went to bring me up at the counter, and I couldn't believe my total. It was crazy. So they do offer an online store as well, so I would definitely be ordering from them in the future as well if I don't happen to be in that area to actually pick it up in person. I went to 2 other shops. Oops, sorry, my phone. 2 other shops in that area. They were closed, so not in existence anymore. And then I went to 2 other shops, and one of them I can't remember the name of it. I will definitely put it in my description as well, and also their information on my website. I ended up buying a spell candle that they offered there. Now, this one was more of a metaphysical shop, as well as offering some witchcraft items. Um, and they had this spell candle, and I don't usually purchase other people's spell candles. I do my own, but this one really intrigued me. It was more of an empowering versus for a specific goal. You kind of worked with it to provide your actual intention into the spell, and the candle was more of a booster. So it was a really interesting piece, and I will definitely, like I said, I think it was. I don't have the packaging for it anymore. I will have to look it up, and I'll put all that info on the website and in the description. But yeah, the candle seller was actually, I believe, based in Michigan. But it was a really neat series of candles she had. So really had a fabulous time when I was in Florida. Didn't do a lot of photography. Just wasn't feeling it for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't get a heck of a lot of writing done. I think I did one blog post while I was down there. Um, I was hoping that inspiration was going to strike, and it wasn't happening. Still kind of hasn't been happening. So we shall see. We came home. We turned almost immediately around and went out for a camping trip with my daughter and her fiance at a state park that's in our local area, a place that we absolutely adore. Now, we do a lot of our camping nowadays with an RV. We've had one in one form or another for the last 20 years, 20 plus years. And so currently we are back to a travel trailer. It's one of those pull behind units. But I do still tent camp on occasion. Usually I do a little getaway by myself at least once a year, and sometimes it's tent camping. Other times it might be at a hotel. I like to stay in unique places though, so um, I like to switch it up. Let's see. So we did that camping trip, and then we came home and went right back out again, headed west to go visit my husband's family. And so that was great. We had a great time over the 4th, um, and had some great visits at wineries along the way. So yes, been traveling a lot. I need to be better about maybe posting some of that on my Instagram account. I do some, but I just wasn't feeling it. Let's see. I've also been working on helping my daughter get things ready for her wedding. I can't say how proud I am of her, and how much of this she's taken on her own. Coordinating pretty much everything, and her fiance, jumping right in, and he's been great helping out with everything as well. So we're getting those final details down. Um, finally, finally picked out my dress. Now I need to have the alterations done. Got to get shoes though. Let's see, what else do we have? So my son, he cut his hand while we were gone. So I'm proud of him. He did a good job. He called us to let us know what was going on and needed advice on what to do to get through the process, because he was at work when it happened. So yeah, he sent us a picture of his hand right away, and we were like, no, you're gonna need to go to the emergency room. You're gonna need some stitches at a minimum. So he did really good handling that on his own. You know, did a really good job trying to work himself through all of that, navigate all that on his own. It's a little scary, you know, if you've never had somebody there with you when you're going through an emergency like that. So he did really good. Um, and let's see. Yeah, I've just got so many other things going on. Like I was talking about that library book list that I've been trying to work through. I will post some little write-ups on the books, just my basic thoughts on them, not really in-depth reviews. I may do some video series of them, I'm not sure, but I would definitely at least get those quick write-ups out on my website as I finish them. Uh, I don't know what I was thinking. I must have read something wrong on my public library's website when I was working with it. I thought I was adding these books to a, you know, like a list to save for later so I can come back and check them out when I'm ready. No, this was the actual hold list. So when I got the email that I had like a stack of 20 books ready to go, I was like, uh-oh, I must have done this wrong. So I've been trying to get through those. Um, and, you know, I'm just being pulled in a million different directions at once. So something has to give. And I really don't want it to be anything. But at the moment, it seems like it's my writing and my photography. They're kind of taking a back seat. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to continue on with my unboxing videos. I do have a few more boxes coming in, but this particular month I decided to change it up. Instead of some of these bigger, little more well-known companies in the witchcraft world, I wanted to highlight local shops, small Etsy vendors that offer boxes. So I'll be doing those this month. So I think that's all that's on my mind at the moment. I really felt like I needed to do some type of update. Again, I don't know what it is right now. I'm just having an issue trying to write. I had the hardest time trying to actually write my thoughts down forever. And then finally, at the beginning of this year, when I finally decided to bring my practice into the open, it was like a dam had burst. I was writing, and I was writing a lot. But now, the well's dried up a little bit. So, I don't know. I don't think I've finished saying everything I want to say, but I'm just having trouble getting it out in a written format. So I thought I'd try this, which means that even means my journal's even suffering, which has been immensely helpful in making progress these last 6 months or so. Not even 6 months, because I started having the issue, I guess, back in June. But I still wanted to notate and record my thoughts, so I thought maybe this would be a good avenue. And because I said that my practice is in the open, and that I was going to share this journey publicly, at least on my website, and through these different social media platforms, I thought that I should do this as well. Make this video part of that. So, again, if you watch, thank you. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them. I like hearing about other people's practices, their suggestions. I just ask that everyone be respectful. Everyone has a different path that they're following. Um, but I think that'll do it for now. And have a great day. Thanks for joining me.